So a new study came out looking at what type of resistance exercise is going to be the most beneficial for older adults. It was a meta-analysis. They looked at over 4,000 people, ages 63 to 87. This is really important because we all know now it's how important strength is. It's tied with better surgical outcomes, it's tied with fall prevention, it's tied with mortality. And especially as we age, we lose muscle mass, we lose strength, and it becomes a problem. So it's a good study to do. So they looked at 5 different types of exercises and compared it to people not exercising. All of them were beneficial, but they found that machine-based exercises, going to the gym and using those machines you see at the YMCA or Planet Fitness, yielded the most strength. So beat out all the other ones. Number 2 was free weights. Number 3 was elastic bands. Number 4 was a mix of them, and number 5 was body weight. And it's just kind of almost counterintuitive because a lot of the things you hear and what we talk about is that free weights or big compound movements are always best. But what the study shows with older adults, they might actually do better with machines. So machines get a lot of bad rap, but I think there is a lot of benefit to them. One of them is the risk-reward ratio. A barbell squat is going to give you a lot more strength. It's going to require a lot more compound movements of multiple joints, coordination. You get synergistic muscles working together. It's functional. You got to get out of a chair, but it also comes with risk. If you lose your focus or end up moving the wrong way, you could injure yourself much more than a machine. If you're just on a machine leg press, there's very low risk. If you're controlling the weights and using somewhat good form, you're not going to really injure yourself. Another benefit of machines is a very small learning curve. To be able to squat well, you have to really practice it. You have to work on some accessory motions. You have to focus. It takes a little bit of training to do it well. Whereas to do a leg press at a gym or a long arc quad knee extension, there's really a small learning curve. So that's another reason why machines can be better for some people. And the other thing is it's just easier. You can do machines mindlessly. If you're tired and you don't want to focus, you want to listen to a podcast or watch a show, you can get on a machine and just push the weight without really having to worry about coordinating weights. So it's just easy to set up, easy to get in and out. So I think that's another reason why machines are beneficial for some people. Another benefit of machines is a lot of research shows that intensity of strength training might be the most important variable, going close to failure. And if you're squatting weights by yourself with a barbell, sometimes it's hard to push close to failure. You might not feel safe, or it might, your form might break down more at the end. You might be a little more risky. Whereas if you're, on a machine, it's easy to push to failure because if you miss it, the machine's going to click and it'll be, you are back to where you started. So it's pretty safe. But the one caveat is if you are going to do machine weights, again, like as I just mentioned, you want to go close to failure. The last couple reps should be tough. The other thing is if you can, I would use one arm or one leg at a time. So if you're using the hamstring curl machine, try a set or two just using one leg at a time, and you might notice that you have a huge difference, and that machine will not only identify that for you, but then it'll let you work on it. I often will advise people to use machines if they haven't been training, if they're not familiar with those more complex movements. If their compliance is low, sometimes it's just easier just for them to go to the gym and do a hard circuit on a machine-based exercise program. Of course, more functional, complex movements I think are great and important. But again, it comes back to the best exercise is going to be the one that you'll do. If you come up with this very complex, thorough, great exercise with all these functional movements, but the person doesn't want to do them, it's not going to be helpful. In that study, it's also important to see that even the body weight did better than nothing. So if you love body weight training, just keep training. Don't let this shake it up too much.